Hello, this is Ben from Scoreblock Studios, bringing you the fourth part of my Starcraft 2 editor tutorial series. In this part, I'm going to go over the basics of making a trigger and applying it to a non-melee map. I'm going to be making an ambush trigger, meaning that as my units move through this canyon here, they're going to come under attack by Zerg units, which will spawn on these cliffs, and maybe a few in the canyon itself. So to access the trigger editor, all you need to do is click the gear icon right here, and it'll open up this menu. So to make a trigger, just click this. And I'm going to name my trigger Ambush. Okay, so I want it so that when my units enter a specific region of my map, this trigger will fire. So I'll use an event, which is the cause of the trigger, what causes it to play. Unit enters region. Any unit enters, and I need a region to set it to, so I covered how to make regions before, but I'll make a region right here, region 1. So if one of my units enters this region's trigger will fire. So any unit enters value region 1. Okay. So now I need to say that only my units can activate this trigger. So conditions, I'm going to add a condition. So the owner of the triggering unit is player 1. So by default, comparison works fine. And then I need to say what the action's going to be. So what does it do? Now, I want it to create units at points around my canyon. So I'm going to place some points here, 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 and over here. Okay, so I want to spawn a Hydralisk at each of these points as my units move through this canyon. So I'm going to create one Hydralisk for player 2, which is by default hostile to me, at point 1, and the rest of that doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm just going to copy paste this trigger and set it to the other points, and I'll be back when I'm done setting it to the other points. Okay, so now that I've got all those points selected, I can leave the create function alone. I do, however, need to make sure that this trigger turns itself off. Otherwise, every single time that my unit enters the region, it'll spawn a Hydralisk, meaning if I bring 10 units into the region, it'll spawn 70 Hydralisks, which I don't really want. So turn current trigger off. I'm actually going to, just for safety's sake, set it to the actual trigger name. Okay. And then, for one last thing, I am also going to reveal a secondary region so that my units can actually shoot the Hydralisks that are on the cliffs. So I'm going to make a region 2. So reveal region 2 for player 1, and I'm going to make it for 20 seconds. Okay. So this should work. This should mean if my units walk down here, enter this region, Hydralisks will spawn at these points, and I'll be able to see them and we can fight it out and I can move on. So I'm just going to spawn in a couple Marauders, some Marines maybe, and maybe a tank. Okay, so let's go. I'm testing it by clicking that green Starcraft icon. Okay, so the game's booted up, so I'm going to run through this canyon, and once I hit the area, yep, Hydralisk spawn, and I can have a fun little climb. Right. Looks like they're gonna beat me on this one, but whatever. Okay, so this is how to make a simple trigger and apply it to a non-melee map. I'll be back next time to talk about how to make a melee map and kind of the mentality you need while making one. So, this has been Ben from Scoreblock Studios, signing out.